Hello and welcome back everybody to the last game of this series, a best of 3 between the Prime and Aces. Man, first two games, they've been so damn exciting in this Mineski Pro Gaming League season number 6. Hopefully the third game can top the previous ones even more. But we are of course HeflaTV, the English coverage for the Class S qualifiers and the group stage. I am Coucher and once again I am joined by Mr. Blackadder.
Good evening and afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems we're already off to the Thunder God's presence. Brewmaster for Aces, and of course the Zeus and the Centaur for the Prime.
Man, they do love themselves, the Zeus. I believe they ran it in game number 1 as well, right?
Every game
Yeah.
we have seen a Zeus from Prime. It is going to be a boo-boo Zeus once again, most likely, and, well, I honestly like watching him handle the Zeus.
He's definitely been just doing the necessary burst damage that is required to just get rid of one hero at the start of the fight completely. Especially them focusing down the Death Prophet in the last game, but Aces, a Brewmaster and a tree and protector of all heroes.
Well, they're looking for the initiation and the control of a team fight. The overgrowth, not to be underestimated. The Ags upgrade for Treant is actually pretty good if you can get the gold for it. But we look at the bans for the first banning phase. I'm quickly going to bring this up. Terrorblade, Io, Skywrath, Viper. Of the heroes that didn't get banned, consider what we would see last patch. Razor didn't get banned, didn't get picked. Lycan, not banned, not picked. Doom, not banned, not picked. Pretty damn nice to see the change of scenery. But nonetheless, we do have a Death Prophet banned out as well as the Razor.
Yeah, Razor definitely is still pretty damn strong, as is the Death Prophet. I mean, all the Death Prophet really got nerfed is just the cooldown on the Exorcism. Once the Exorcism is out though, it's still as strong as ever. Which, last time around, the Prime, they just got to know it into their face. So now they're like, no Death Prophet, no pushing, no additional team fight. And where are we gonna go from here? I mean, the Prime, they have two of the heroes that they had last game as well. Centaur and Zeus both worked out wonders for them. But where do they go from here? Do we see another Nature's Prophet, for example?
A Nature's Prophet could work for them, but I doubt we're going to... Well, Actually, thinking about it, you've got the Zeus, the Nature's Prophet could make a lot of sense, because then you get the double global. That could work out quite nicely. It's not going to be as effective in terms of pushing, because of that tree and protector, and we're going to see the ban on the Meepo. So, I'm thinking... Prime... Yeah, they'll ban the Tide, which is the bigger teamfight ultimate here. And they're going to pick the Prophet because they have the Zeus. Makes some sense, but they're going to have to deal the other way with the living armor. But apparently I'm wrong because I'm a caster. It's going to be a Lich, so they're going to change it up. But once again, we do see the Anti-Mage this time for the Aces.
Anti-Mage definitely is rather good up against Zeus, and even Centaur as well, just because you do have that built-in spell shield. So magic damage won't affect you half as much as it would the other hero and, well, the Prime. I can't say this Faceless Void was all that surprising, especially after that Lich pickup.
Indeed, the Chen Frost plus the Chronosphere, do I really need to say much else? On top of that, you've got the Zeus, who, if he's standing outside the Chrono, can just rain death with that static field passive as well.
So, also Faceless Void is actually pretty good in just locking down the Anti-Mage, making sure that there is nowhere to just blink away anymore, at least for a time period. But Ace is picking up a Witch Doctor. Overgrowth with that the Death Ward can definitely be a pretty damn strong one. But so far, the Prime, every single hero, in theory, could disrupt the Death Ward.
Very true, and that's going to be something to keep in mind. It's going to be up to the Treant to set this up perfectly. But what role are we going to see the Treant in for one? Is it a support Treant or an offlane Treant? That's one of my questions. And the second thing that I'm going to wonder about here, the Void. What is his item build going to be? Because this goes all the way back to Dota 1. The only reason we would ever see a Void pick up a Battle Fury is so he can keep up in farm to an Anti-Mage. Are we going to see a Void Battle Fury just for that reason? This goes all the way back to Dota 1. It was then kind of picked up towards the pub scene as, oh, I'm Void, get Battle Fury. That's where the entire thing came from in the first place. But what's going to be the option for Prime here?
I would think they're not going to go for the Battle Fury and the Faceless Void, just because the other three of their heroes, they rather want to fight early on. Otherwise, if the BKB start coming out for aces already and it starts getting later, the magic burst just loses its effectiveness a little bit. So just use the Faceless Void for the most important thing, the Chronosphere, and always Sven pickup. Okay, then might be looking at an Aghanim's God Strength here.
I'm not sure about the Aghanim's God Strength because they don't really have many heroes that will capitalize off that. I believe it only increases base damage. It doesn't affect spell damage at all, so the Zeus doesn't benefit, nor does the Lich. But this could now be some interesting lanes. We could be looking at a tri-lane Sven as the core, a mid-centaur or Void who's going to go up against the Brewmaster, and off-lane, well, a safe lane solo of the other one. That makes the most sense to me because then you've got your Void potentially in the off-lane solo farming. He can then get his items up without worrying too much. You've got a Sven who can aggro, try, and fight against an anti-mage, plus a Lich plus a Zeus. And this makes a lot of sense to me. And then you've got Centaur who will go up against Brewmaster.
Yeah, they can definitely just mix things up as far as their lanes are concerned for the Prime at the moment. If it should be a tri-lane with like Lich, Zeus plus Sven, or just Lich, Sven plus Faceless Void or something along those lines, or even Sven, Lich and Centaur being on the aggressive tri-lane, it would be so damn devastating because Anti-Mage probably wouldn't be getting any farm at all, since if you get stunned once, you're pretty much gone. Lich, of course, continuous Frost Blast spam, but Ace is picking up a Shadow Demon, so wow. Misa, he has been in a core role in the previous 2 games. Is this a core Shadow Demon going for the Aghanims, having the free charges on the Demonic Purge?
I'm actually hoping it is, mainly because Shadow Demon, I don't know how much Dota 1 you played, but Shadow Demon was a phenomenal mid-hero back then. I mean, that would then mean it's a support Witch Doctor, Trient, and then an offlane Brew, which could then work if they're going to have the offlane melee, or well, safe lane solo melee of the Prime. I mean, mid-Shadow Demon, I'm actually liking the idea for this game. Draft-wise, I favor the aces. I'm going to put my money right now on the aces. I have a handful of aces.
Well, I've heard you once say that you can never bet against the Thunder God. So I'm going to go for the Prime then.
Words. If you win this, I'm going to regret those words. Boy. Oh, well. I'm hoping we just get one spectacular game, and with drafts like these, I think we will.
Yeah, it's just all on aggression, more or less. Early on, they might just wait until they're level 6s or something, but after that, oh man, all hell might break loose. But we're here in the last game of the qualifiers, or this qualifier series at the very least. Aces versus the Prime at the moment. And to introduce the lineups, for Aces on the Radiant side, Secret will be playing the Treant Protector, Living Fox on the Anti-Mage, Killer and Hawk on the Witch Doctor with Tavlo on the Brewmaster, and the last one will be Misa on what we can expect to be a core Shadow Demon.
On the flip side of that coin, we've got Boo Boo on the Zeus for the 3rd time in a row. We've got SCL going to be playing the Lich. Last 2 games he's played the Skywrath Mage. Monang is going to be on the Sven. We've got Y2K reprising his role as the Centaur. And that does leave, of course, going to be handling the... What is he going to be handling? Faceless Void will be Nefari. And Nefari's been the off-laner or solo laner in the last 2 games, so it does seem it will be a solo lane Nefari.
Oh, this game, man, it should be all kinds of fun for us. And Nefari, he's around as well. Both teams are ready, and we will get this final game underway. Who will qualify for the group stages? And actually, the funny thing is that Aces, even if they don't qualify for the group stages, they are already in a good enough position to actually get into the LAN finals anyway from the rest of Southeast Asia region, since they have the most points acquired from that region. So Aces, there's not too much on the line for them. I guess some prize money as well as just some pride and getting into the group stage, getting the chance to play up against Insidious Idol, Invasion or Titan teams as such. Definitely an extra bonus if they can get there.
Indeed, and I'm going to find this quite interesting because the Shadow Demon, he was actually given both of these wards by Killer, who's handling the Witch Doctor, and he picked up boots for himself to start with. So this could be indicative of a roaming Misa, but it could equally be a core Misa, considering he's not going to be a much threat in a lane. He's going to be a range versus melee.
Can it be that they've actually switched up their roles since he purchased something else as well apart from the boots. And look at Secret, man, having a Quelling Blade on a Treant Protector, it feels like a farming one, but man, I have no idea what to expect here really.
Nor do I actually. He did, I think, buy the courier. I can't actually see who purchased the courier.
I mean, it must have been something worth of 150 gold, so...
Yeah, you'd think it's the courier. So maybe it's not the core Misa we're expecting, although Misa has only played cores to this game, so who knows?
Well, I can think he's a core, just because if he purchased the courier, the only reason it's still the most regular donkey is that he's not a support player, so he doesn't have any cosmetic ones.
I suppose that's one way to look at it, and it could be a dual mid, actually. A dual mid... Actually, we've seen them do interesting things.
Boo Boo is in so much trouble already. They got the Thunderclap off, Haste Rune on top, should be an easy one more Thunderclap, they don't really even need it, and that's first blood for the Brewmaster.
That's going to certainly help them out, and at the end of the day, I think I figured this out. It's going to be a dual lane mid, dual lane top, solo safe, and it's going to be a solo safe Fox on an anti-mage up against a Sven and a Lich. So that's not going to be very pleasant for Fox, and he's going to try to soak as much experience as he can, but... The off lane, or well, the hard lane in this case, is Y2K up against Killer and Tove, and this is again going to be another kill the way of Aces. This is the strength of their lanes, but the mid, consider this: mid Treant Protector against Void, which is fairly good considering the Treant's right-click damage. He's going to control this lane. You saw the damage that he did to the jungle with the Quelling Blade. Cut down a good few trees. This is going to help the Shadow Demon potentially do pulls with his Purge and Poison when he can. Maybe it's going to be the dual mid jungle style, but Misa will rotate down towards this safe lane and try to help out here. This is going to be very rough for the anti-mage, as we pointed out. It's an interesting shift for Misa. It really is. I did not see this one coming.
Yeah, neither did I really, but to be honest, as much as I would have been excited about an Aghanim Scepter Shadow Demon, I can't say I'm less excited about Aghanim Scepter Treant, who actually is taking a lot of harassment from Nafari, a few time locks as well, finally activates the Living Armor. But the stacks get eaten through rather fast, so... I mean, Faceless Void, having the Portman Shield definitely will help out in dealing with the just massive right click of the Treant. And time locks, they will always be a pain in the ass.
Time locks are always nasty at the end of the day, but... Across the board, I put my money on Aces. What about you? Who did you bet on?
Man, the Prime Man can't go up against the Thunder God.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna have to take up your logic because... My own never worked.
Oh god, I suppose. But we do have Monang chasing down Fox in the safe lane. This is not going to be very pleasant at all for him. But the end of the day, across these lanes, we've already got 2 kill advantage the way of the Aces. I'm honestly wondering how well these dual lanes will pay off, and we've got to consider, we could be looking for another kill. They're going to throw some damage into Y2K. Do we have the Thunderclap? Yes, we do. Doing a good amount of damage, but now comes the Stomp combo. Is it enough? No, it isn't. The right clicks are going to be there from Tove, and that will clean up Y2K. Now they're looking for Boo Boo. Do they have another Thunderclap? I don't believe they do. 2 seconds, 1 second, but doesn't have the missing 55 mana either way, but he buries himself into the tree line to try to cut through, but doesn't manage to do so. Tove picks up the double, TP back in by Y2K, and advantage clearly the way of Aces in the early game.
Man, the Prime, stop feed! Stop feed! But, I mean, I guess the Prime at the moment, the thing they should be looking towards is just stay a little bit farther back, play it safe, get the levels, and once you have your level 6s, then go for the huge team fight that their lineup is just clearly built for anyway. So, I think they should just try to get up some vision and play it safe to just get their ultimates going, and from there on just start fighting or do something better than what they are doing at the moment.
I'm inclined to agree with that one. They need to at least get some momentum going before they can really fight that well. But Fox will eat a Frost Blast, and there is that threat of Misa on the sidelines as well. Does have that Disruption into Soul Catcher combo ready to go, playing the support in this case. But as it stands, when it comes to this lane, I favour the Sven and the Lich up against the Anti-Mage and the AM.
Yeah, for sure. It's just no denying the power of a Lich overall in a dual lane. It's just so strong. Continuous Frost Blast thanks to the sacrifice. You will never run out of mana if you play it correctly, pretty much. Of course, at the moment, Misa trying to pull things through. It's only a single pull. If you can get a double pull, it's actually going to benefit the Prime by the end of it. But looks like he will manage to get it properly, I think. Well, one creep. At least something.
He's going to try to at least control the momentum so the anti-mage can get some better farm, but there is that threat of the Stormhammer and the Warcry coming through, and we are seeing Mongling level that Warcry secondary, which is going to help out with the armor, going to reduce the potential damage that Fox can deal, and from where I sit, this lane is possibly the one that Aces will suffer on the most. I mean, the Sven, it just has so much physical damage, which can just kill Fox outright.
Definitely Sven is just such a strong hero to begin with. I mean, has the power tree is already finished up as well. Extra attack speed definitely going to help out. But looking at the mid lane, it's actually Treant Protector having the upper hand there as well. 29 to 6 compared to 21 and 6. So, a couple more last hits for the Treant. I can't wait to see what item he's actually going to go for.
I'm in complete agreement to that one, and I'm wondering what item it is myself. But in the meantime,
is going to go down bottom lane. Just Frost Blast, Stormhammer, easy kills.
The strength of the Sven, there is just so much in favor of him right there, and well, the amount of damage that this lane can output just so damn high. And this is before we calculate extras to the equation, like say a Chronosphere or the Thunder God's Wrath. Thunder God and the Zeus being the main part of that. If we start seeing lightning bolts drop, it hurts. Sure, it's only a level 3 Zeus right now, but what else can they do? They're against one hell of a dual lane. They're against Witch Doctor and Brewmaster, which has paid off exceptionally well in this game.
You're just getting the early kills like today, especially the first blood, followed up by an early kill on the lane as well. Just made it so that it's so hard for the Prime to actually contest that lane at all. Centaur main, 18 last hits, it's not the worst, but definitely he would have expected to be a little bit closer to the Blink Dagger by now, being on the safe lane farm.
But he's been killed, what, 3 times? No, 2 times. It's not exactly a friendly lane either way.
Yeah, it's definitely not at the moment, and well, Fox will get some farm of his own on the bottom lane now as the creep wave has been pulled through from Misa. The double pull is there. He has to be a little bit careful though. Oh, actually Boo Boo, oh man, he's going to go down for sure. Paralyzing cast comes through. They had the Thunderclap as well. Actually, Stampede might be enough. Is he going to get through? Yes, he is. One more right click. Oh, are you kidding me? Killer and Hawk. He somehow had vision for the last right click and got the kill.
Well, Witch Doctor's right-click damage is quite formidable. It's up at nearly 70. It's something you do have to keep in mind about the hero. He has one of the highest support right-clicks in the game.
And just coming into play here as well. Arcane Boots activated by Tavlo. So Brewmaster went for the Arcane Boots just to make sure that they can just go for non-stop aggression. And that's what they want to go for. Paralyzed Cast won't bounce off to anybody, but with the Thunderclap, it should be an easy kill. Lich trying to deny himself or just wiggle his way through, but they won't even get the kill on the Witch Doctor. And Y2K, do you really want to hang around? There's still a primary split for Brewmaster after all. Double H will get the kill, I think, but he's gonna lose his life. He's completely boxed in.
Yeah, there's no way to escape this one. And well, you kill a Witch Doctor, you lose your own life. That's not exactly worth it. And a double kill to Tove once again. But the flip side of this coin, on that bottom lane, there was actually a kill. They managed to kill off the anti-mage of all heroes with the Sven and the Lich, which will help out, well, with the Sven and the Zeus, actually, but that will help out to no end. And where we sit, what else do we have potentially coming along? We've got the Blink Dagger now for Tove, which is pretty damn huge, having that at 8 minutes, considering it does cost 100 gold more now. And what other items can we see coming up across the board here? At 8 minutes in, we do have only a Ring of Health towards a Battle Fury, but on that bot lane, we do have an attempt on Sven's life. He has no mana to be able to Stormhammer, but now in comes Y2K, does eat a Paralyzing Task, and the Death Ward going to be able to bring down Y2K nearly, but there is no Malediction there to ensure that kill, so it's just going to be a brawl. It's a 3v4 at the end of the day. Make that 5v4, in comes the Faceless Void. Does have that Chronosphere, but doesn't need to use it. In comes Overgrowth, however, as an equal exchange. Y2K will be the focus there. The Mana Void does bring him down. And now it's a case of Nefari. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have enough mana to Time Walk again. But Disruption will go through onto that Lich. He's going to be blocked in near enough. One more Leech Seed and a right click coming through from Secret will be more than enough. And he's going to Living Armor himself. He does have a haste rune, so he can just keep chasing. But in comes the Sven, does get a Stormhammer onto the Shadow Demon. Will be able to finish that one off. But Nefari will leap away. The last bit of life he has will be brought down here near enough. But I'm wondering right now, Boo Boo in a lot of trouble. He's going to be the target. It's at the end of the day, I believe, a 3-for-1. They lost the Shadow Demon. They managed to bring down 3, I want to say.
I think they got the Witch Doctor really early on in the fight as well, but doesn't make that big of a difference. Actually 2-for-4. as the fight recap shows us. So excellent fight for Aces. Once again, just the biggest thing for the Prime is, even when they started the fight, the Sven didn't have enough mana for the Stormhammer. By the end of that fight, he got one under the tier 1 tower, but just imagine him having full mana, having God Strength, plus a couple of Stormhammers on top of it in the fight. Could have gone so different, but just no Arcane Boots coming out yet for the Prime, and just hurting them so damn much.
Yeah, they need something to refill that mana capacity. I mean, the Sven is a pretty mana-greedy hero, especially if he wants to pop his ults. It's one of the downsides of Sven in the long run, but now we get the leap in, the Chronosphere on that mid lane. They're going to try to bring down Misa. The Living Armor's going to keep him alive a little bit longer, but in comes the Chain Frost. Death Ward versus Chain Frost. Death Ward should win this one. Going to force away the SCL Lich, but they'll lose the Faceless Void for an exchange. That's 2 kills in that mid lane. Now could potentially be 3. Two Love jumps in with a DD rune. Boo Boo gets brought down by Misa. That's a double kill for Misa and a kill on to Killerhawk. So quite the advantage the way of Aces.
Oh man, that if only Lich had used the Chain Frost or had kept the Chain Frost to stop that Death Ward, for example, could have been so damn different. As well as, you could see Faceless Void, he was like, I'm just gonna go at the Witch Doctor and hope for a time lock, because that's my only chance. Didn't get it though, so just died to the Death Ward anyway. Excellently done once again by Aces, getting, 3 kills there. Chronosphere also on cooldown for the Prime. And Fox finally has some breathing space on the bottom lane as well.
And that breathing space will help him get that Battle Fury up. He's still quite the ways away from it, though. That's 800, 1,675 gold he needs. And still, he is getting some farm now. That's the upside of this. What is the Sven doing in the meantime? He wants to fight. You got SCL here on that Lich as well. Frostblast is going to come in, and they're going to start harassing Fox once again. But this is still going to be spectacularly rough. And I'm wondering what kind of build we're going to see come out of Fox after the Battle Fury. Is it going to be treads into straight Manta? Are we going to see the likelihood of maybe the Vladimir's Offering pick up in this game?
That definitely could be a potential. I mean, helping out the Brewmaster and even a core Treant for that matter, to be honest. Of course, I wouldn't even just be extremely opposed to even a BKB, considering how much Magic Burst actually the Prime has. Although, having Spell Shield maxed out might be enough, considering that the Prime... Yes, they do have the Stormhammer and the Hoofstone, but if you can dodge those, avoid those, the magic damage, maybe not as scary when the Spell Shield is maxed, but Sven now has himself a Mask of Madness. So if you can actually right-click at somebody, that certain somebody is most likely gonna die.
I'm not sure I like this pickup, though. You've got to consider, even if he gets a Stormhammer on 2, the level of damage that Aces can put out, be it with Death Ward, be it with, say, the right-clicks of a Treant, it's going to add up, and he can't protect himself with a BKB versus the magical elements of this game. So he could potentially take a lot of damage from the amplification, but Monang in a lot of trouble, does get stunned out, does mention throw one Stormhammer, but not before Misa comes in and cleans that one up with the help of Fox.
Oh man, Aces, they're playing just so damn good at the moment. Demonic Purge, Paralyzing Cask, and the Death Ward just perfectly done at the moment. 15-5, only 13 minutes into the game. Looking at the graphs, 5k gold lead XP. Almost 5,000 as well, and this is only the second tower to fall now here.
Equally though, we do have a tower being exchanged for this one. You've got threat on that top lane of Nefari and Y2K bringing down the top tier 1. Equally, there is a Mask of Madness for Nefari, but now they're going to pop Stampede, time leap out. They don't really want to lose a tier 1 in exchange, so tower goes down, advantage the way of the Aces.
Oh, the Prime, they needed this tier 1 so damn bad, because that would have actually been probably the Blink Dagger for Y2K Centaur as well. They do need the form of initiation, but oh, bottom lane, they might get secret. Just the Chain Frost coming out as well. I think he's gonna go down. One more right click from Nefari. Actually, no. Living Armor keeps him alive for a little while. He will fall down in the end, I think. Yes, he will. At the very least, he bought enough time for Killer and Hawk to TP out, but finally, the Prime just get something for themselves as well.
Aye, but that will help the Prime. They'll get the extra pickoffs, that extra bit of gold. If they can keep fighting like that, it will add up. But flip side of this coin, the Aces have themselves a Blink Dagger on their Shadow Demon. Unorthodox pickup in terms of item-wise, but, well, this is a very odd Shadow Demon. This is actually a very odd build for his skills as well. He's maxed Disruption of all spells first.
Well, maybe they're just planning to siege with anti-mage illusions at some point or something.
That's what I was considering. I mean, that can work. It has the longest duration possible for the anti-mage illusions, which do gain that mana drain component. So that's one thing they can do. Equally, I'm not sure if the illusions gain the bash of time lock. I don't think they do. Thinking about that, that would be dumb if they did. But normally we would see the leveling of Soul Catcher as the primary because it's 50% amplification, or the Shadow Poison if he really wanted to fight heavily with that if he can land them. But still, it's interesting to see this kind of build, and it's actually paying off this game. It's so far doing very well. And
oh man, and Animation now has picked up the Battle Fury 15 minutes into the game with just brown boots. I mean, I guess it's not the fastest, but considering the start that he had with his farm, it's such a fast Battle Fury still. And in the mid lane, the Lich tries to do something with Secret. Is he gonna come in? He has to blink, there is some cooldown, but he gets the overgrowth Y2K. The hoof stomp is there, but nice disruption defensively. They use the stampede just to make themselves be able to escape the fight, but now, oh my god, Monang, he comes in, got strength activated, will it be enough? Not enough mana for his Stormhammer though. Oh my god, his Primal split it up in the middle of everybody. 2 heroes, easy double kill for Tove. Man, just no mana. I don't know, man, Sven, you need the Stormhammer to be able to right click.
yeah, you do, and if he can't cast it, that's the end of it. I mean, if Sven cannot stay on target, it is just so weak, especially if the Primal Split comes up. You just have no recourse but to run away, and in this game, TP cannot disengage from fights very easily. There's a Primal Split, there's Overgrowth, Purge, Disruption. There is no escape, really, if these fights go sideways.
There definitely isn't at the moment, and all aces, they're pretty much, or have gained everything that they were hoping to accomplish, I think, in this game so far. 16 minutes into the game. Now, just, they're gonna watch Anti-Mage get some ridiculous amounts of farm. But of course, Brewmaster is only 220 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter being finished. And if you get it early enough, this double Thunderclap already, it's gonna do so much damage.
Indeed, it's going to do an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage. If we look at the graphs quickly, there's a 7,500 gold lead the way the ace is, as well as a 5,000 experience lead. This is a very tall order to fight back from for the Prime. Sure, doable, but they need to take the fights and win them, and they just cannot get any momentum on these fights at all. The Sven isn't paying off this game. The high armor of the rest of the aces lineup, plus, say, the living armor, is causing them so many problems. That, combined with the mana drain of Fox on that anti-mage, I'm thinking we're going to be seeing a good amount of anti-mage in the foreseeable future.
It definitely might happen, just a pretty damn strong hero, so hard to actually bring him down as well. You need to draft some solid lockdown, and oh, they might catch Killer Hawk. Stampede comes out, there's the Blink Hoofstomp, they catch the Witch Doctor, but will it be enough? Lightning Bolt comes through, leaving armor with the Voodoo Restoration, they're going for the counter kill. Malediction comes out as well, it's actually level 1, but doesn't really matter all that much in the end, and oh man, Fox. He wanted to get that kill for himself with the Mana Void.
Well, the kills onto Fox will certainly add up, and I mean, we're going to now see the next item choice for the anti-mage very soon. They're going to try to go on to the Hephaestus Void, but that's not an easy kill by any stretch of the imagination. But Secret wants to go for more. He does have a Blink Dagger, so can try to keep up, but the Mask of Madness is going to keep Nefari safe for now. Then again, Overgrowth does catch at the max range, going to force the Chronosphere. In comes the Chain Frost, going to bounce immediately to the easy camp though. And that's going to at least buy some time for the anti-mage to get the hell out of dodge, but they will lose the Trient in exchange for that.
Yeah, in the meantime, actually, Brewmaster got the kill. Actually, is he going for the second one? He's going for Monang, got strength activated. Monang, does he have enough? The Thunderclap comes through. He has another Thunderclap. He's going to get the solo kill. I think maybe the lifesteal from Monang not going to be enough. So double kill in the meantime for Brewmaster. And, well, yes, it's sad that Trient lost his life, but Chronosphere and cooldown. Aces, they get 2 kills anyway. Man, 20-7, this is just going way too good for aces.
Not feeling so confident in your bet now, are we?
Man, I don't care. As long as it's a good game, I don't really care at all.
Damn straight, as long as we get a good game, and it is starting to pan out to be one hell of a game. Fox, gonna be forced away, does have 1,200 gold, and I'm keeping my eye on him. I want to see what he's going for next. But across the board, Killarok, what can he go for next? We have the Aghanims component starting to build up for him, and if we see an Aghanims on the Witch Doctor, this could be all over but for the crying.
Man, this Witch Doctor Death Ward with an Aghanims buff, it's so damn ridiculous if you can actually channel it. Even for half the duration, it's probably gonna be enough already in the fight. Oh wow. Well, so far we haven't seen, I think, a single try where the Prime is actually being grouped as 5 in a team fight just to go for their combination. They've been trying to get pickoffs here and there, and just other than that, they are the ones getting picked off themselves, or at least the aggression is mostly coming from aces.
Well, if the aggression creeps up from the aces, it's going to be absolutely perfect. But now, however, we get a smoke coming out of the prime. And if they can loop down and pick off maybe the anti-mage, pick off maybe the shadow demon, it's going to help. But on the flip side of this coin, we do have 3 men rotating towards this bot lane to back this one up. This could be an absolute train wreck of a fight. It could be a 4v4 scenario right now. They're going to go straight on to Misa. They're going to try to burst him down. The Thunder Gods come through as well. That does reveal the presence of Killerhawk on the sideline as well as Secret. We'll eat a Stormbolt, but not going to pursue for more. They're happy to get the kill on the SD and back up.
Yeah, it's a support kill, using 2 ultimates for it as well. Not the best of kills, but at least creating some more space as Fox. He did go for the Vladimir's offering now. He's flying out to him as we speak. And looks like the Prime, they need a second. God knows for what, but I mean, just getting a small pause, not a bad thing considering how few pauses we've had so far.
Yeah, it's actually been quite refreshing. We've had momentum throughout the game. This is, I believe, the only pause during an actual game other than the start of one that we've had all day. It's quite a refreshing change of pace.
Yeah, especially for Southeast Asian Dota, man. What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I must clearly be dreaming.
New patch, new ways.
Clearly. But we're back underway. Let's keep this momentum rolling. And what else can we see coming potentially online for either of these teams? I want to see what the anti-mage has got. He's bought something. What's he got flying out to him? The full Vladimir's offering. So it is going to be a Vlad's game. It's going to help out the Brewmaster as well as the Trien. And also help him brawl up against that Faceless Void. And the Faceless Void did go for the Maelstrom into BKB build off the back of that Mask of Nans. But now in comes the Overgrowth. Going to buy some time. Time walk out by Nefari. It will not be a TP out successfully by Monang. He gets caught, throws one more Stormhammer, but that's not going to be enough to protect him, I don't think. He should still go down here as Tovla just continues to cause mayhem on other lanes. He's beyond godlike. I believe he just got that kill solo. He's going for the double once again. Nefari comes in, tries to do what he can, but Tove has just gone absolutely nuts in this game. We look somewhere where there's a 4v4 engagement going on, and Tove just kills the other elsewhere on another lane.
He's been playing so damn aggressively, and just his micro has been pretty good as well on the Brewlings, to be honest. Throwing the people up in the air. But aces! Well, easy kill, hoof stomp, double H, lightning bolt. Not much a solo or support Sherry can do.
Tove's doing it again. He's just going aggressive. He's in Nefari's face once more.
Oh, Boo Boo, he's gonna go down top lane. Mana Void to cancel the TP, and it's an easy kill after that already. So, just kills going left and right. So far supports were exchanged. But this top tier 2 tower, they have the glyph, but the Prime, can they actually defend this?
I think they can certainly try to. They're going to need to focus down Fox by all means, though, as well as interrupt a Death Ward if it comes up. Interrupting the Death Ward is absolute priority. Second one is locking down and controlling the anti-mage. If the Death Ward gets just left to cast, though, it's going to be over very quickly. And you've got to consider the Aghanims is slowly coming online for this Witch Doctor as well. And if Killen gets any kind of good set of kills in the next fight, it could just be Aghanim's time.
Oh, definitely Aghanims could be a pretty damn good addition for them. But look at this bottom lane. Tove, he's still hanging about. In 20 seconds time, if somebody's still there for the Prime, he might have just gone in, Blink, Thunderclap, Primal Split. At the moment though, backs off, picks himself up with Bounty Rune, and might go for Nefari in the mid lane.
Well, if he goes for Nefari, that can work out, but he needs to be able to stop Nefari from time walking away. Yeah, backtracking as well. Backtracking as well. Then just to backtrack the Thunderclap. But tier 2 on that top lane does fall in the meantime.
So, the Prime, they're definitely looking for some kind of fight at the moment. They are smoked up with Boo Boo as well as Y2K. Actually, they might run into 2. They have the Chronosphere as well. Might be the perfect situation. Hoofstomp, double H to follow up onto... actually, the disruption came out. Aces. Or Misa rather, he got Chronosphere, but now look at this Y2K, he's taking so much damage from the Primal Split, he will go down. Boo Boo, going for the TP out, not gonna be a success. Thrown up in the air by the Cyclone of the Storm Banda. Slowed down as well. Easy kills on him. Paralyzed gas, just in case. Actually, Mana Void from Fox. Did he just use it on a creep?
I believe he did, but still. Tove, after all of that, survived, and Tove's micro has been phenomenal in this game. It has been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, it definitely has. He's been just creating so much for the team. He's 12, 0, and 6. That is one of the best KDAs on Brewmasters. Or overall, to be honest, I have seen in quite some time.
Indeed, and just momentum like that is going to be very hard for the Prime to fight back into. I mean, Tove is quite literally carrying the top of net worth as well. I mean, he's above an anti-mage, for Christ's sake, and that's an anti-mage with a Battle Fury. How many times can you say that?
Well, not too often, to be honest, and probably not for too long in this game either, since anti-mage, he's been just furiously farming up the entire map at the moment, going for that Manta style now, as Tove. He's going for the top side. Is he going to go on the aggression actually? Thunderclap comes through. He already activated the Drunken Haze. Blink after. Just forcing Face's way to TP out. Even without the Primal Split, his presence is just so deadly.
Indeed, it's incredibly deadly. And I am wondering where we're going to see the next engagement. I'm getting a feeling it might be this bottom lane as well. Y2K needs to be very careful. In comes the secret overgrowth right there, as well as the double edge from Y2K, but that's going to be nowhere near enough. Chainfrost starts bouncing around, but it's a 1-for-1 trade at this point. A Witch Doctor for a Lich. And do we see a re-engage here, potentially? Secret is still lurking nearby. Doesn't have the overgrowth, of course, but Fox can come in and just drop a good amount of damage. He's almost got his Manta as well. He's only 400 gold away. When that Manta style comes online, I am honestly not sure if the Aces have anything really left to farm for. I mean, sure, they could go for a heart, but they could equally, in my mind, just end the game. If they can get on top of any of these heroes with that Manta, it's going to be incredibly scary, if not impossible to fight into.
It most certainly is, and all the Manta styles should be finished right about now as well. He has enough gold for it. And, oh god, Shiva's card also finished on the Brewmaster now. I think I saw like one extra item. Yes, the mech also on 3 in Protector. So, they're getting all of the items necessary for the fights. But I guess one item is also flying out to Nafari at the moment. He has his BKB finished on the Faceless Void. So can feel a little bit safer in the fights, but you're not safe from the physical damage. Oh, Shiva's card, they're gonna catch the Lich. Slow, Thunderclap comes through as well. Fox, he blinks in a few right clicks, picks up the kill. He's unstoppable as well. They're just all doing so damn well and probably gonna get the tier 2 for the troubles.
Indeed, I can't see them stop to getting the tier 2. The tier 2 should go down quite handily, but what else is going on this map? Y2K pushing the top lane with Boo Boo. They want to try to bring down the tier 2 for themselves, and the tier 1 on the bottom lane is going to be Nefari's job. So while they realize they can't fight at the tier 2, they're going to just split push the other lanes. That's one good thing to do, but Misa is right there to try to harass Nefari out, and will successfully do so. They'll defend the tier 1, especially off the back of that glyph.
Well, I mean, however much gold you can just deny of your enemy or delay the gold income, it's definitely going to be good considering that the Prime, they are so far behind as it is. In gold, 14,000 XP, almost 10,000. So I think it's like one of the biggest leads we've had in this series so far, or at least the most stable lead since it's continually growing for Aces.
Indeed, if this lead
Oh,
just
they
keeps
find
going...
Boo Boo going for the TP out. He's not going to be able to do it. Lightning Bolt does stop the Death Ward, but Maledict comes through and Boo Boo, he's completely blocked in. I have no clue what he was trying to do there, but he paid for it.
Look at those pigs. He's annoyed kill stealing. Tove. Behave, Tove.
Oh man, well, to be honest, it was purely Witch Doctor's skill, man. He found him, he did most of the damage, and then just Thunderclap.
Yep. Killer's slightly irritated at that, but at the end of the day, a killer's a kill. The Zeus goes down, and Prime not doing all too well. You've got to consider, without that Zeus, who hasn't been able to go for the Veil of Discord and just have the impact that we've seen in the previous 2 games, Zeus just falls off. As pointed out by the chat, Zeus without any form of lockdown is just damage for the sake of damage. Sure, you've got the Stormbolt, you've got the Hoof Stomp, but it just has not paid off this game. The response has been there from Tove, as well as the defensive power of Misa. It's incredibly hard to stop, and that's before you consider the overgrowth of Secret, which can just lock down that Sven and Centaur, and on top of all of that, Primal Split. Primal damn Split.
Yeah, which is level 3 by now as well. So, the Prime, they have to be extremely wary of it when they go for the team fight. If they're ever gonna go for one, I mean, their lineup, it's kind of designed to team fight, but they're just so far behind that they don't even have the confidence to properly go pick a fight.
And now Monang is going to be on the receiving end of this. He just gets caught by Shiva's guard. You've got Nefari lurking nearby, but if they can bring down Monang, that's absolutely huge. The Brewmaster does it alone, and that's beyond godlike. Now you've got Nefari forced to time walk away, and Fox is still there as well. Looks for the overgrowth from Secret, doesn't quite manage to catch it, and with that 1 kill advantage on the Sven of all heroes, this is a pretty damn huge push coming. This could be tier 3, this could be Rax. But without the primal split, that's still a tall order to do.
Yeah, if only Aces had like outer towers to take care of, unfortunately. Or well, I guess fortunately as well at the same time for them, they have already managed to kill off all the tier 2s, but... So they might go for Roshan, for example. They have the Vladimir on Fox, so should be an easy target, especially considering he also has a Reaver now. And that's exactly what they're gonna go for. Should be rather fast Rosh, I think.
Yeah, it will be. And this is going to be, the, as you mentioned, the Reaver into a Heart for Fox. I'm honestly expecting Tove to go for a refresher, but they realize something's amiss here. Just look at this warding. This warding over here catches Nefari's vision, and they realize they want the Chrono in from the sidelines. And if they can catch the Chrono from Nefari here, that's going to be huge, but the illusions of the Manta coming from Anti-Mage is more than enough to scout this out and force Nefari back. This might be an easy Roshan, but there are multiple avenues of entrance here to the new Roche pit. And here we go. They look for the jump in from Nefari. The Anti-Mage didn't get caught, though, and this is still going to be a very big problem. They can drop the Chrono, but it's a Chrono for Tove only. BKB's there, and he's in a lot of trouble, but now in comes the Overgrowth. That's going to at least catch Monang. Purge is there. The damage coming through from the Shadow Demon. But now in comes Fox. But Chronosphere will slow everything down. Monang will still go down by the looks of things, but the disruption is there. He's going to get completely trapped in. There is no escape from that. Down goes the Sven, not even needing the Mana Void. Now SCL is going to be on the receiving end. One more punch coming through from Secret will clean that up. Mana Void comes through from Fox, cleaning up the Zeus. And the end of the day, advantage Aces.
Oh, for sure at the moment. And one of the biggest things was that Nefari, he actually had to use the Chronosphere purely defensively to actually make sure he himself can escape. But with the Chronosphere, he also caught Sven. So this Sven so far, there hasn't really been a single fight where he's just been able to right-click through. Every single time, Aces, they've already killed off enough members of the Prime by the time that Sven actually arrives, or Sven hasn't had enough mana for Stormhammers or whatnot. So really just haven't felt his presence at all almost this game.
It's one of the downsides of Sven. His mana pool, his capacity aren't brilliant. Sure, he's got high armor, he can be tanky, but if he can't stay on target, a Sven is near enough useless. In comes the Hoofstomp trying to harass Tove, but you've got to remember, Tove almost has his primal split back up. Only 40 seconds away, and then the fun starts all over again.
Oh, they were trying to go for a Fox, who just dodged it with an easy blink, to be honest. But melee Rex or down range Rex, yes, they are still alive, but don't think Aces care all that much about it. It's just inevitable now that the range Rex will follow at some points, just because the creeps themselves will keep pushing in. Fox has finished up the Heart of Tarrasque as well. Oh man, this game, I'm not too sure if the Prime even have a comeback. With a huge Chronosphere, with all of their spells combined and Sven being able to right click, there still, yes, is a chance, but can they get a perfect fight like that? And not only once, multiple times.
I'm honestly not sure. By their powers combined, they still need to overcome a 20k gold lead. Not only that, that's a 16k experience lead. It's going to be very hard to stop, but this might be their avenue for opening. Nefari and the rest of the Prime are going to start handling Roshan. However, this is, I believe, scouted out. Was there a Radiant Ward? No, apparently not. They actually can't see this coming, but if they get the Aegis, who are they going to put it on? Because the Sven could work, so could Nefari. Nefari has the downside of he can only drop the one Chrono, and there's the downside for the Sven as well. If he gets killed with his ultimate up, that's the end of everything. But now in comes Secret, looking for this top lane fight. Primal Split to go up. They're going to try to focus down Y2K. He's going to fall to the Treant Protector and the Brewmaster. But still in the base, Nefari thrown up into the air. They're losing their tier 3. The Aegis doesn't mean enough in this one, I don't think. Boo Boo's just going to get focused down. Thunder God's Wrath does go off, but it's a beyond godlike now for Tove by a huge margin. If they can bring down Tove, that's going to be huge. But the things go. Overgrowth is there. Catches 4. Chain Frost bouncing around as well. Now comes the current, so that's going to buy some time, but Tove is still pretty damn tanky. Can they really bring down Tove? I don't think they can. He pops his Shivas. The defensive disruption is there. Nefari needs to be focused down next, and GG is called off the back of that one. They just cannot bring down Tove, and the best of 3 series goes the way of the Aces.
Extremely well played in game number 3 specifically. This was probably the most one-sided map in this series as well. Just from the start, from the get-go, they got the kills necessary to get an early lead and they never let go.
Indeed they did, and then, well, it was a pleasure to see these two teams fight.
Yeah, and we should be having one more series, hopefully just as good as this one. It's going to be G7 up against First Departure. First Departure, last leg, they actually failed to qualify, I think it was up against MSI Evolution Gaming team. So they're definitely gonna try to get through the qualifiers at the very least this time around. And it should be starting in actually like 15 minutes time, so not all that far. But guys, thank you so much for just tuning in, supporting us on HeflaTV as well as the Mineski Pro Gaming League season number 6. And of course, man, huge thanks to the sponsors overall: Gigabyte, Steel Series, ViewSonic, as well as the Secret Shop Philippines to actually allow us and just make this cup possible overall. But if you like this, you can always follow us and Blackadder. Where can people find you?
They can find me pretty much everywhere at Mr_Blackadder on Twitch and Twitter. I hope you guys have enjoyed the cast.
Yeah, guys, so just see you in about 15 minutes time for First Departure versus G7. And until then, just a few songs, and hope you'll have a good time.